What's up, people of the internet? My name is Davicap, and today we're going to look at the second video that IGN published just the other day. The first video didn't quite go the way that we hoped. I feel like the IGN player wasn't exactly the most experienced artifact player in the world. We'll put it that way. So hopefully this player is a little bit better, a little bit more experienced, and we can see a better gameplay. So let's dive right in and see how this match goes. Okay. So we have the red-green deck against the blue-black deck, and these have sort of alternating objectives. The red-green deck wants to put out a tough line of heroes and creeps, like strong heroes, strong creep, and then cleave in and do tons and tons of damage. The blue-black lane wants to be really aggressive, often push one lane super hard with like Sword of Khan plus assault ladders and just do so much damage to one lane that they completely overwhelm the target. So the issue here is going to be AoE, because the blue-black deck plays Dimension Portal, which spawns 3 minions, and if you can't deal with all 3 of those minions, then they're gonna like kind of swarm you with either assault towers, which increases how much damage they do, or with Disciple Nevermore, which also increases how much damage they do. So we played the Mercenaries without even looking to see what was going on in the third lane, which is the only other lane where we can cast this. So I like to be a little bit more cautious about this. Let's at least see what our options are. But overall, putting the Mercenaries in lane 1, I guess not a terrible option. We're kind of lucky that Sword of Khan blocked this, got blocked. This lane's great for us. We're going to kill Jamui in 2 turns if nothing changes, so we have a slight advantage here. And then lane 3, looks like we're going to get a little bit of gold as Axe decapitates this creep. Necro is going to get in a little bit of siege damage, but no big deal. So now we've got 4 mana. And let's see, we've got a green hero coming in. So we definitely want to put the green hero in either the first lane or the third lane. I personally would like to see him go in the first lane because, well, we got two creeps. There's a 33% chance he's going to go in front of Sword of Khan. Don't agree with that. So what I would want to do is I would want to put Farvan in the first lane, because there's a chance that he could go in front of Sword of Khan, and that would kill Sword of Khan with the 4 damage. So that's sort of like the ideal, I feel like. But instead he's going for Necrophos. Not really sure why he did that, but what you definitely want to do in this situation is spread out your green heroes so you can cast spells, because we're stacked really heavily with green mana at the moment, green spells. We also got Grand Melee. So where do we want to put Grand Melee? Certainly not in this first lane, because Grand Melee gives cleave to enemy heroes as well, and there's 2 enemy heroes, so this gives a significant advantage. Okay, so we have just seen assault ladders in the mid lane. That means that that's the lane where Sword of Khan is going to want to be trying to push for the win. So I think at this point it would be smart to try and put a little bit of a presence in the mid lane. So I would hope that we could put Savage Wolf in the mid lane. That's the ideal. I don't want to cast Elemene's Favor in the mid lane, because we can very safely assume that mid lane is going to be the assault ladders. Yeah, okay. See, this is what I mean. So at this point, I'm going to want to see Savage Wolf come out right next to Lycan, because that will kill the creep. The Savage Wolf can start growing. Don't do probably... Yeah, okay. I agree with this. So luckily our wolf can start growing, getting bigger and bigger. He's a big old mean wolf. He's eating his meals, eating his veggies, and getting nice and big and strong. So next lane, we got 2 heroes versus 1. Looks like we're winning because our hero presence is pretty strong. So we have an opportunity to cast either Celemene's Favor or Grand Melee. Given this option, I prefer Celemene's Favor just because it's a bit more mana efficient, and we don't really need Grand Melee. But I guess if we did cast Grand Melee, it would kill Necrophos, wouldn't it? Oh, looks like he's going to cast Celemene's Favor in this lane. Would I want to put it in this lane? Let me think about that. I wish I could see the other lanes. So really, he's got 2 great options. Grand Melee is going to kill Necrophos to prevent him from stacking his passive, whereas Celemene's Favor would start developing the board so we could have stronger next turns. The issue is, his hand right now is real slow. He's got 2 mana spells that aren't really going to be useful for a while, and he has no expensive spells to cast. So he has almost no useful cards in hand right now. Just Prowler Vanguard. Celemene's Favor is not going to do him any favors at the moment. It would have been really nice if we could have put at least one of those out to give him a stronger presence later on. So we have Legion Commander. I feel like, okay, so we can either put him in the left lane to block Sorla Khan. He's putting him in the mid lane, which is going to try and block these creep. Not a bad play necessarily. Hopefully we can have an answer to Sorla Khan. I'd really hate to see that damage come through. 12 damage, I mean, it's not the end of the world. We could Grand Melee this lane, but there's 2 enemy heroes, so not the best option. I feel like I'd like to see Grand Melee in the mid lane, because that's where... Okay, we got comp lag going in. That's where the towers are, and the assault ladders, and because that's where the assault ladders are, therefore that's where we're likely to see the dimensional portals. So I think I'd like to see probably Grand Melee in the mid lane, so we can start dealing with the pressure that will likely be coming in from all those creep. Maybe. God, I wish I could look at different lanes on the replay, but you can't. So fortunately, our oh no, Strafing Run kills the wolf. That's a shame. So we're gonna cloak up our Lycan to keep him alive. We could Celimene's Favor. We could Grand Melee. Yeah, we gotta do something with these Celimene's Favors. I don't really understand Celimene's Favor in this deck. I don't know the entire deck list off the top of my head, but there aren't really a lot of super expensive spells to cast. So I'm not really sure why you need all the extra mana. Are there Thunderhide packs in this deck? There might be. That might be the reason. So, looks like our Grand Melee is going to finish everything off. Oh, actually, they were going to be finished off without Grand Melee. So, I feel like I would just spend, like, you don't need to cast anything defensively in this lane, so I think I would just Celimene's Favor, and then probably also Grand Melee to develop, because we have the flexibility. I don't know which lane, probably Grand Melee in this lane as well, because we have 2 heroes here, and this is where we're likely to see dimensional portals in the future, so I'd like to see Grand Melee in the mid lane. I feel like this lane doesn't really need it. We've already got some cleave damage in this lane. We're already winning this lane. I feel like that was a little bit of an over-investment in lane 3. So we can buy a heal. We can buy Book of the Dead. So we picked that up. Personally, I would pick up the Healing Salve. I love the healing items. I think they're so strong, so generally useful. They're just good picks. Unfortunately, we don't have any heroes coming in, so we're just stuck with this board state. I would be surprised. I'm kind of expecting them to abandon lane 3 at this point. I'd be a little bit surprised if they put something in it. There's just so much cleave, so many heroes. Oh no, he's putting Necrophos over there. Interesting. We have a creep blocking Sorla Khan, which is fantastic. Lucky us. So we could Book of the Dead Pugna, which has benefits and drawbacks. The benefit is we're going to get a charge right off the bat from this creep that's about to die. The drawback is we kind of wouldn't mind if Pugna died, because then we could put him in the mid lane and deal with either the Conflag or the Assault Ladders. This blue-black deck has a lot of improvements, so it'd be nice if we could start trying to destroy those improvements, but at the moment, Pugna is stuck in the first lane. So with 6 mana, we could Smeevil Blacksmith, I guess.
Just the times, eh?
I think what that play was a I want to see what you do play. Right? He doesn't want to cast anything. He doesn't want to... Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. But why not just pass? Because you want to cast stuff? Okay, so yeah, that was just a delaying tactic. He was waiting to see what the other player was doing. That was actually kind of clever. I don't think I've seen that play before. So Sorla Khan, if she can find 2 damage, she'll kill this creep in front of her, and then she'll put, I think, 14 hero damage, or 14 damage into the tower, which is going to be halfway towards death. Yeah, okay, so it's Grazing Shot. So, we could... There's a couple things we could have done there. We could have Healing Salve. We could have Rebel Decoiled and swapped it out. We could Smeevil Blacksmith right here. We could Book of the Dead. Honestly, we have so many answers dealing with the Sorla Khan. that wasn't a big deal at all. We could have Prowler Vanguarded, which wouldn't have been a great call because it wouldn't have even killed Sorla. So Book of the Dead works. Smeevil Blacksmith works. We got the Vandal coming out. Do we want to do anything about this? We could. Okay, we could have played a Rebel Decoy and swapped the Rebel Decoy with Pugna. The Rebel Decoy would have killed the 4-2 Brute. Pugna would have killed the 4-4. I feel like that probably would have been a stronger play. So with 8 mana, we can Smeevil and Vanguard, or Smeevil. Double Smeevil, not a terrible option because it's going to put some armor on these heroes and put them further out of range of Conflag. So now, of course, Legion Commander is immune to Conflag. Hopefully, if he plays another one, this will hit Lycan. If you play it, you should put it to the left of Lycan for the damage buff. Are you planning on doing some fancy schmancy swap here? What would be a meaningful swap?
If I'm lucky, I'll survive this.
Yeah, I think it would have been better off just putting the Rebel Decoy to the left of Lycan. I think it would have been more total damage. I have to go back and look at the math, but it would be a lot of damage. So we have Divine Purpose. We could Divine Purpose the Farvan or the Axe. Why hit the Axe? He's already like the toughest hero in the game. Alright, I don't agree with that play. Like, Axe isn't going anywhere. He had full health. He has 2 armor, 3 with the hero next to him. I think he would have been better suited if he's going to play that invincibility spell, putting on Farvan, or putting it, or just like playing the Smeevil on the Prowler Vanguard or something. I don't agree with putting it on Axe. That's kind of excessive, in my opinion. I don't really know why he did that. So we don't have any heroes coming out. The only place we can cast green spells is in the mid lane. So hopefully we get some red spells, because at the moment we're a little bit tapped out. Looks like both heroes actually are a little bit tapped out. They've got 2 cards total. We have 4. One of which I believe is a Potion of Knowledge, so we can get some card draw coming in. That's fantastic. Nether Ward. Where do we want a Nether Ward? So if we put Nether Ward in the 3rd lane, all right, looks like he's going to duel. Not a bad call. It's going to waste 7 mana. Yeah, wasting 7 mana, that's not too bad. So if we put Nether Ward in lane 3, that's going to potentially deal the most damage because black spells tend to be pretty cheap. So yeah, okay, it's not a bad play. Though, yeah, it's not a bad play. That's not a bad play. Okay, so we can Potion of Knowledge, get some card draw. We've already lost initiative, so we may as well. Right. Savage Wolf, I'd love to see that come down in lane 3. Alright, lane 2, I mean. Start developing that board state. Savage Wolf heals just enough to stay out of range of Conflag. So I'd probably put that right next to Lycan. Oh, Thunder Gods, of course. Of course. That's going to take out Lycan, so no more Savage Wolf for us. No more Legion Commander either, and we have 1 hero on the board. Oh my god, this is so bad. So we have 1 hero on the board. Next turn we're going to have 2 heroes on the board, and then the turn after that we're going to have 3 come in. Meanwhile, they have 2 heroes on the board, and next turn they're going to have 2 coming in. So they're going to have a turn where they can just kind of do whatever they want. And we might kind of start to lose during that turn. So this is a really bad situation for us, actually. We've got Axe is going to cleave in with his double grand melee and do a bunch of damage, but of course the Furline Mantle is going to prevent that entirely. So he is going to survive, and there's nothing we can cast, so let's just gain initiative, man. Nothing we can do. Axe is a beast. He's not going anywhere. He's invincible. He's tough. I feel like even if he didn't have the invincibility, he still wouldn't be going anywhere. The board is so empty right now. It's so empty. Our Nether Ward is getting a little bit of damage in. It's doing some work for sure. So, Blade of the Vigil. The only person that can go on is Axe and Farvan at the moment. I'd like to see Farvan go in the... probably the left lane, just to try and finish off that tower. Or he's going for the mid lane to try and stop the siege damage from coming in. Yeah, okay, that's... I guess that kind of makes sense. We got a siege tower and 2 creeps in this lane, so there's going to be a lot of damage coming in. So it does make sense to try and stop that as much as possible. It's just... God, the left lane is so low. It's really tempting to put a hero there and just finish it off. So, in the right lane, the only thing we can cast is Berserker's Call. Well, now in Mercenary Exile. And in the mid lane, we can cast... How much mana? We can't see how much mana he has.
I was just getting warmed up.
We may have to play some Vanguards to try and block some of this damage. Maybe a Wolf. Probably not the Blacksmith. Wow, Crystal Maiden is huge. She is fully equipped. She is ready to go. She's like Queen Elsa. Man, ready to destroy the entire landscape. Alright, so in the mid lane... God, we are really pressured here. We're going to lose this tower for sure. For sure. Maybe not this turn, but it's going to happen eventually. The cleave is not going to do a whole lot.
I will defend us all.
We could put... we could put the wolf in front of the creep, maybe. It wouldn't be a bad call. I agree with the Smeagol in front of this guy. Let's see if he casts anything to try and deal with that. If he does, we can cast Wolf or probably Vanguard to try and deal with it. I think I'd like to see the wolf in front of the creep. Or, I don't know, we're not in a very strong position. I'm really not a fan of Farvon. He's not my favorite hero by any means. It's just his premier spell just blocks damage. It doesn't really do much else. I mean, sure, this is going to block 5 damage plus... Oh, 2 plus 2. So actually it's going to block a lot of damage because we have double... Okay, so at this point we have double siege towers. We have to worry about losing our ancient in this lane. We really have to worry about losing our ancient in this lane because Sorla Khan plus her assault ladders plus stacking minions. Jeez Louise. So it'd be really not... Okay, we can't... There's nothing we can do. So we need to either stop this lane or race him. And this kind of depends on this lane. I would... What would I do? Berserker's Call doesn't do anything. Berserker's Call doesn't do anything. I would have rather Mercenary Exiled. At least you can get another card out. Oh, man. That Berserker's Call did absolutely nothing. Necrophos was going to die any... Like, if he just passed, the board state would have been Necrophos is going to die. So he may as well just pass and let combat kill the Necrophos or play Mercenary Exile. I mean, I guess I would do Mercenary Exile unless you want to save it for the mid lane. We got 3 heroes coming in. So they can probably try and deal with the mid lane. It's really unfortunate that he put 2 Grand Melees in this lane. It's a little bit excessive. Wow, that Necrophos is going nowhere. Necrophos has so much health. So we need to put at least 1 hero in the left lane to try and, like, maybe... We got to spread out our mana some. We've got to make some use of that. So we've got... like another, we're going to put 2 heroes in the left lane? I'm a little bit concerned about mid lane. Like, sure, we've already lost it, but... I don't know, man. I'm a little bit worried. If we get another Assault Ladder on there, or another Dimensional Portal, our Ancient's going down. Maybe not that turn. I mean, we got 50 damage coming in. The Creeper going to block some of it. God, I really wish we could have dealt 8 damage to that tower when we had the chance. So we have Ogre Conscript. God, I really wish we could get plugged into the mid lane and start dealing with those improvements. But that's just not an option at all. Yeah, I'd put something in front of the 4-2 to kill that off, I guess.
We'll fight for you.
You could put Prowler Vanguard in front of Crystal Maiden, I suppose. So it'll take Crystal Maiden... No, she's got Keenfolk Musket. So she could do it in 2 turns with Keenfolk Musket. Savage Wolf she'll just kill. Ogre Conscript would kill her. But we might be better suited with Ogre Conscript in the mid lane. Yeah, okay, so... We need to deal with some of these creep. How can we deal with the brutes? What's the best way to deal with the brutes? Prowler Vanguard isn't going to finish it. Ogre Conscript would survive. Savage Wolf and Bronze Legionnaire would both die to it. So I guess... Okay. I guess Ogre Conscript is probably the best option just because he's the only one who can survive and kill it at the same time. Or we'll just pass. This guy loves to pass and react to what the other player is doing. I'm noticing. More assault ladders. Okay, yeah. This lane... He has 2 heroes hitting the tower. The Brute on the right, the Creep in the middle, and those 2 things alone are doing 18 damage. That's what these assault ladders do. These assault ladders are nasty. I really wish we could get Pugna over here. Are you not gonna cast anything, bud? 18 damage is not a lot. He's sitting on 6 mana. He's probably gonna do something. I think personally I would... Okay, we got a Frostbite coming out. I don't know. Like I don't want to invest in a dead lane. That's 38 damage. That's almost half dead. Like we're looking at a scenario where Sorla Khan could hit the tower this turn and then just win next turn. Like Dimensional Portal wins them the game. Disciple Nevermore wins them the game. We're putting Ogre Conscript here. It's going to kill Necrophos. Honestly, we're just in a rough spot. We're kind of losing every single lane. This is going to kill Necrophos, which is great. Ooh, uh-oh. Yeah, that's what he's positioning to do. He's positioning to win the mid lane at the moment. And at the moment, yeah, if he does nothing, he's going to lose mid lane and lose the match. So I really feel like he probably should have played Ogre Conscript in the second lane because this lane can kind of hold its own for a second. He could have Bronze Legionnaire instead just to tank some damage. Blink Dagger, certainly. We got to get some of these minions out of the left lane and into... Oh, God. We have 2 options at this point. It's either win lane 1 and win lane 2 this turn, or stall mid lane and hope we can survive long enough to, you know, turn the board state around. It's just, there's so much shit going on in the mid lane. At the moment, like, we've got to turn this thing around, for sure. So we got Nether Ward. I don't agree with Nether Ward in this lane. 26 health. He's not going to care, man. You're better off putting it this lane, so at the very least, there's the possibility that he could kill himself with spell damage. But 26 damage is just, the tower's going to tank it all. It's like... This tower is so low. Why would you... Okay, we got a duel, which is fantastic. I agree 100% with Blink Dagger on Pugna. We got to get him over so we can start dealing with those improvements. That would be fantastic. Do we want to cast anything before we go, is the question. If we play Bronze Legionnaire, that's tower lethal. But we might prefer to have Bronze Legionnaire in the mid lane. The thing is, we have so many creatures to play already in the mid lane that I feel like we might be better off just playing one of these creatures in this lane to secure the tower lethal. Because we're not going to be able to play all those spells in the left lane anyways. Well, now it's too late because we don't have any red spells. And we are still 4 damage off lethal, so we are nowhere near a win condition. That's what's really distressing me. We're just on the defensive at the moment. We're nowhere close to winning the game. At the moment, we're going to kill the tower next turn in left lane, but even then, we've got 26 health and 27 health to go through. But at the moment, our main focus is just surviving this massive onslaught of damage. If he is another dimensional portal, we're just screwed. We're just completely screwed. So first things first, I'd love to duel Sorla Khan. It's too late. He already spent all his mana. It's too late, man. So I would... It'd be really nice if you... Okay, he screwed up the sequence. Because now Steam Cannon is going to kill off Pugna. And Pugna's not going to be able to destroy one of these improvements. In fact, Pugna could potentially destroy the Steam Cannon, which is 7 mana. I mean, it probably wouldn't. It's a 1 in 5. But we really would prefer to get this off. But now the Steam Cannon is probably going to kill Pugna. Yeah. So that super stings. That sucks really hard. We have so much damage coming in. So at this point, we just got to just, like, blow your load. Play all of your cards, as many as possible, to try and stop this damage. Because even though this is a lost lane, we're nowhere close to winning. So we have to stop this damage. We have to. or we're just going to lose. I don't... This player has made a couple of decent plays, but I feel like this player is too defensively minded. This player, I feel like, is playing to not lose instead of playing to win. And it's kind of backed us into a corner where we're constantly just trying to stop the Sword of Khan's tower damage, and it's just not enough. So finally we've turned things around and we've won mid lane. It's taken us everything we have. Say goodbye to the Ogre Conscript. He's going down to the Siege Cannon almost certainly, I feel like. That'll leave us with Axe in this lane. The issue is just going to take Axe a while to do anything, man. 7 damage is a lot, but I mean, how many times can he tank? Like 4 times? This tower can tank this Axe 4 times. So my guess is he's not really going to invest any more resources in the third lane, the enemy opponent, because there's just no reason to. Axe is going to smack the tower, but it's just going to take him a while to do anything. I'd like to get the Red Mist Maul for sure, because we need to start getting in some siege damage. We definitely need to get that tower in the left lane, because we've got to start looking to win this game for sure, because we're just kind of limping in our first and third lane, and I'm really concerned that some combo like, oh my god, the mid lane is so stacked right now. Man, this enemy player, he knows what he wants. He wants to win in the mid lane. Cap locks, underline, mid lane victory. So, we don't want to cast anything because we don't need to cast anything because we're already winning the lane. So, I think I'm content to pass. There's nothing we can do. We could Town Portal Scroll, but I don't know if that's really necessary at the moment. We may need that 4 damage from Lycan to kill this tower. So, okay, Fountain Blast. That's going to save the Crystal Maiden. That's fine. We'll just... I think we can just take initiative. I think that's fine. We can just take initiative. There's nothing really we need to play. See, we're still lethal. Not a big deal. We're still going to kill this tower. He's not going to kill ours. So we're okay with this board state. Yeah, okay. That's fine. And we've got initiative moving into the second lane. So, he has a blue hero and a black hero. The question is, can we... Okay, we're not going to kill this black hero. He's freaking huge. Can we kill this blue hero? No, we have no kill spells. This lone Necrophos is going to do 11 damage. I'm kind of feeling Savage Wolf and then making it immune. Oh, he's hitting the hero with it because he's about to hit him with a steam cannon. It's not a bad play. Oh god, this guy's just about to get swarmed. Completely swarmed. There's lethal damage on the field. Red Mist, that's not going to make any difference. So he's playing Red Mist Maul here to see if he can see what the enemy's going to do, because that gives him an extra turn to draw things out. See if he plays another minion. The thing is, it doesn't matter if he plays another minion because we can't deal with it. Our only answer is Savage Wolf. There's nothing we can do. If we Savage Wolf, he's going to steam cannon it, and then he's just going to win, right? Yeah, I think we lost the game. I think there's nothing we can do. We just... At no point during this game were we anywhere close to winning. At no point. I feel like putting double Grand Melee in the right lane was a mistake. I feel like we really could have used one of those in the mid lane. We needed to get Pugna over in this lane sooner. We needed to deal with those improvements. There's just... He's been spending this entire game trying to defend against the mid lane push, and he just can't, man. Green-red just doesn't have enough cleave to properly deal with it. Enough AoE to properly deal with it. Now this is complete lethal, man. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. We've lost this one. So, another losing match. This was tough, actually. Things went kind of well for the blue-black deck. I mean, he got 5 improvements against Pugna. That's kind of a screw-up on the Pugna player's part. And that's that. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Let me know what you thought of the game. Dabacab out.